Hey people, this is Eric Cobra, and well, not just me, but some of my friends, give an ear, Flodders, Rana, and, well, others. Well, how many of them? Never mind, we're going on a tangent. Anyway, we've been talking about a new project, possibly, and, well, to be fair, this is a project that could stay entirely among us, never be shared with anyone, but, I think that, if I put creative effort into something, I at least want to give the people the option of getting it. Uh, so that's what I'm doing with this video. I'm trying to gauge if there is any interest whatsoever. If there isn't, well, then I don't need to go a whole lot of effort to make sure I can bring it to people. If there are, well, then I know it's not in vain. I mean, I'm going to do this no matter what, but, need to know how much work I need to put into this. But now you're probably thinking, what is this project? Oh, this is where it gets interesting. Now, I'm a nerd. I'm not afraid to admit that. Who isn't a nerd nowadays? Everyone's a nerd of some sort. If you're not a nerd, then you're probably a sports nerd or a politics nerd or something else nerd. But as part of my nerdiness, I also play tabletop with my friends. Roll the die, move some characters around, and then yell something about casting an ice spell or magic missile of the darkness if you want to be mimetically cliche. Anyway, the game we're playing has kind of become a bit crazy. What with just the characters at this point consisting, among others, of a half fire elemental giant jumping spider. Uh, let's see, a troll with probably the world's best nose, a lion, an intelligent lion, but a lion. He can't even speak. Uh, a psychic with possibly psychopomp blood in her veins. Not just possible, confirmed psychopomp blood in her veins. A genie, a mixed blood genie, and a former porn star tantric monk tiefling. Now, that's just some of the characters. For this setting, I've allowed all the players to make more than one character because the thing is that this is sort of a Oh, I should probably just get on with saying what it's all is, because this probably sounds weird already now, doesn't it? The thing is, this is sort of a what if we took a fantasy world and, say, went like a couple of hundred years into the future where everybody can have a car and a gun and made everyone less two-dimensional. It's a thing in fantasy often that, if you see an orc, 99% of the time, he'll be evil. And we find that boring. If you like that sort of tabletop game, fine. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying that's not for me. I find it more interesting when the orc could be anyone. I mean, an orc will be different from a human on a biological level and probably have some differences, and I won't go into the details of what we come up with in that regard unless you really want to know. But here's the thing. So we have this modern setting, we have this organization, which is basically like a superhero group, and we have the players being able to create their own characters for this group. And it's become kind of crazy as a result. In a good way, we think, but crazy. Now, after the players managed to retake a military compound from a group of Nazi ogres, long story, uh, well, that made that place their main base after it was handed over to them by the Major as a reward. Because that meant he could get people to protect the area and not actually have to pay them one dime. He's nice like that. Again, a long story. Or maybe it was just pissed they shot the police chief. Long story. Anyway, the thing that we came up with was that at that point, the characters, the whole organization would probably hire some people as staff. And the idea was, what if a normal person, like not maybe a normal human, but maybe a normal elf or dwarf, were hired as, I don't know, manager of finances or secretary or maybe a little bit of everything? What if a completely normal person was hired into an organization where they would have to listen to a lich complain about the noises, where the cook has two heads, one of which is constantly grunting and the other which is asleep. One of the heads is actually married to a halfling who constantly somehow ends up with other people's possessions through no fault of his own, and who talks like if he stopped, his heart would stop with it. Where there's a giant flaming spider living in the cave below, gleefully hoarding its dragon skull. Where there's this Grumpy Cobalt constantly taking up the workshop to make the most ludicrous over-designed traps ever. How would a normal person react to that? And what would they write about it? And the idea was with, well, writing logs from that person's perspective. How they go through the every day and what they think of what's going on, and their comments on how ludicrous many of these events are, even for a world that is supposed to be kind of ludicrous. I mean, at this point, there's two Russians on the team, and no, it's not set on Earth. They still have two Russians. One's a Russian conscript who apparently got pissed drunk one night, and then he and his pet bear somehow ended up in the other place. And the other is basically Yuri from Red Alert 2 if he worshipped Cthulhu. So, yeah, that's weird. How would a person react to that? So that's basically the idea. I wouldn't be able to post this on fanfiction because I don't think it counts as fanfiction. If you people figure out that I'm wrong, please do tell in the comments. So yeah, I also notified about this in my latest update to our fanfic. If you come from there and don't have a YouTube profile, that's fine. You can probably send me a PM on fanfiction.net. Or add it to your comments or reviews if you actually have something else to review. If you don't clutter the review section, please just send me a PM. So yeah, trying to gauge interest, hoping to see some results. But hey, if there's no interest in this, that's fine. Well, then it'll just be a private project. And I don't have to figure out a way to post this. We considered maybe opening a blog or maybe DeviantArt. Still juggling with options, but no need to do anything extraordinary if nobody's interested in this. And again, don't feel bad if you aren't. I want honest opinions. It's just a fun little side project, and if no one's interested, that's fine. Anyway, this has been Eric Cobra, and look forward to hearing what you have to say.